Let me tell you, we are absolute diehards. We are here at New Media Expo, and everyone else is tearing down, and we're still here. We tracked down Mr. Dan Miller, and he's going to give us an interview. So if you hear background noise, that's what's happening. So Dan, thank you so much for coming here and bringing this peacefulness of you to us in this busy, crazy place.
Well, we can take that with us. That's an internal thing. We don't have to depend on circumstances for how we feel.
Okay, just in that first 10 seconds or whatever it was, I learned something already, so I'm good. Interview's done. No. No. Well, thank you. Tell me about the 48 days concept. What is that about?
The 48 days, I developed that time frame because I got tired of hearing people complain about their life, their job. We'd create a plan of action, and 2 years later, they hadn't done anything. So I thought there's got to be a time frame, and 48 days is enough time to assess where am I, get the advice and opinion of other competent people, identify the options, do a little bit more research, choose an action point, and act. And so I'm really consistent about that. 48 days is enough time to dramatically change your life, and it's enough time to find or create work that is meaningful, significant, and profitable.
Now, I've heard 28 days it takes to create a form of habit.
Yes.
So the 48 days is a new concept to me. So where did that come about?
Well, I'd love to tell you it was something real scientific, but it really wasn't. Much more art than science. But when I was developing this concept, and you're right, that 28 days, that really does what it takes to make a new habit. But when we talk about changing life dramatically, it may take a little longer than that.
Sure.
But this was back when 48 Hours was becoming popular as a TV show. And I thought, as a marketing branding guy, I'll bet I could get some brand recognition. And when I put 48 days there, it's not like 30, it's not like a week or a month or a year, just generic time frames. 48 days, it was like somebody threw gasoline on everything that I did. People were saying, you mean I really can change my life in 48 days? And my response always was, yes, you can, if you create a plan and act on it.
Do you have any testimonials or any examples of people that really dramatically changed their life within 48 days? Any examples?
Sure.
Maybe
That's
one?
lots and lots
maybe
of.
a good one.
I work personally primarily with professionals, so physicians, attorneys, dentists, pastors, people who feel trapped by virtue of their academic background. We'd like to think that more degrees broaden our horizons. In many ways, it narrows our horizons. You take somebody who has a high school diploma, we can show them a lot of options. You take an attorney who's used to making $300,000 a year, they think they're trapped. But I had a young guy come to me as a pastor, ordained pastor, and he thought he was doing the most godly thing he could possibly do because of the title.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fit. He was very frustrated. And in really helping him understand his unique talents, we discovered he was an awesome painter. Artist, had never sold anything in his life, but I had him make that transition. Today he's making 10 times the money he ever dreamed of. It expanded his opportunities to minister and make the world a better place. It didn't diminish those at all. He didn't walk away from his calling. We found the perfect application based on how he was gifted. I have lots of stories like that. I love those transformations that have happened in people's lives.
I think we all do. Now, we're here at New Media Expo, and we were just talking off camera a little bit. People are, we have podcasts, we have radio, television, the whole gamut, content. People are producing content so quickly. But what I loved what you said is people aren't really creating it with purpose. They're just kind of putting it out there. So talk to me a little bit about that.
In many ways, Maria, I think they're getting the cart before the horse.
Yeah.
You can't create your marketing tools before you have a base of business. And people need to have a core business, a core message that they're working from before they look at the things that are promotional tools for that. So podcasting, I love the kind of things we're talking about here, blogging, podcasting, newsletters and all that, but those are marketing tools for what ought to be a core business. And I cringe sometimes when people say, gee, I want to have a podcast. Ooh, what it's going to be about? What's your business? Well, I'm going to podcast. No, that's not a business. That is just one way to promote. It's like putting up a billboard along the freeway. Well, it has to lead to something.
Right.
So I hope people are really getting that message. Develop your core. It doesn't matter if you never podcast or blog.
True.
You can have a traditional business, but have a core business and then see if those things fit in the way that you want to expand.
Very, very sound advice. I'd like to transition a little bit, probably something that's close to your heart. you were able to do a project with your son. And I feel very connected with you because my husband and I just recently had a son. We have a 3-month-old.
Oh,
And
congratulations.
so we're very family centered in everything that we do. So I'm kind of missing him right now.
I'll bet.
So tell me, I love this. Tell me about the collaboration and then what this book is about.
Wow, this is my most recent book, Wisdom Meets Passion. Our son, who's now 35, so he's been around a while, but when he was a little kid, he used to sit in front of the TV and just cry, like when Michael Jackson would do We Are the World, seeing all these little kids in other countries that didn't have all the advantages he did.
Yeah.
He was drawn to that. So he's been in Africa for about 8 years. But when he went the first time, he wrote an email to his mom and me the night before, and he said, my fear about what I'm going to do is almost overwhelming, but my passion for how I'm going to be able to impact people exceeds my fears of inadequacy. And it planted a seed in me. I thought, if I could capture that kind of passion that gets us past low self-esteem, no courage, and all those things, that would be magical. So I developed the idea, presented it to my publisher. They said, yes, let's do this. So I had the marvelous opportunity of co-writing with him. Back and forth. He has a lifestyle much different than mine. He lives in Africa now. But at the very core, our values and beliefs are identical. And it was just a magnificent experience to be able to do that. Thank you for asking.
Well, yeah, I actually want to also talk about the medallion.
As part of that project, my son Jared created this medallion with the Ubuntu concept. Ubuntu is an African term that means together we can do more than we can do individually. And we really believe that in our work. We're very giving in what we do. We want to bless people and help them be successful. And that concept has come back to our benefit time and time again.
Well, you know, I really feel this is the perfect way to wrap up our experience here, and I'm so glad that we were able to get your interview in today. You're doing amazing things. You're impacting the world. You're helping people change their own lives, and whether it's media or finding their path through employment or becoming an entrepreneur or a writer, whatever it is, that's really the key to joy and happiness and to making our world a great one.
Absolutely. We all have unique gifts. We need to find what that is and then be confident in sharing that with the world. There's not a cookie cutter plan people have to follow. It's what is unique about you. Work with that.
Right on. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.